Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the newest installment of the Act Black Box podcast. I'm your host, as always, Robbie Soto, along with my co-host to my left, Tim Vincent. What's going on, Tim?
Hello.
How's it going, buddy? And to my far right, we have the amazing John Hall. John, what's going on, buddy?
You know, having a good time.
Hey, man, that's what we always do here. And our guest for this evening, last minute guest, we have Mae Weisenmiller joining us. Thank you so much for joining us last minute, Mae.
Absolutely.
Cool. So hopefully everyone's had an amazing week. How was everybody's week? John, how was yours?
Ooh, I tell you what, I blinked and it was over. There was not a second this week where I wasn't actively doing something. It was insane.
Yeah, I feel that way about the weekend. That's the problem.
Yeah.
The week drags.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the weekend's like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
So I feel that. Tim, how about you?
It was good. It was good. My birthday was Wednesday, and I agree with John. This week just went way too fast. Like it was.
How are we almost at 2022 now?
Yeah, stop. Stop.
2021.
It's almost
10 minutes
October.
ago, January 1st, and here we are, three quarters of the way through the year. You know, autumn technically starts this week, I think, and then it's done. Like,
wow.
What?
But yeah, it was a good week. It was a long week. We had 4 Sweeney Todd rehearsals in a row. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we were at Sweeney, and then we also were rehearsing for Rent, among everything else. So it was a long week, but it was a very good week.
Hey, busy weeks are good weeks, right? It keeps us out of trouble, at least most of the time anyway. So thank you all for watching and tuning in. If you're watching live, make sure that you're chatting with us. We want to hear from you. John's over there monitoring the chat, as he always does. So make sure you're sending us your thoughts, so that way we can talk about it. If you disagree with something somebody on the somebody on the panel says, let us know. We'll have to talk about it. Just like last week. I'm still trying to put together that I hate Lin-Manuel Miranda fan club.
You love Lin-Manuel Miranda fan club. Yeah.
Just as much as never mind.
Just throw it out there. Ashley Baker says, "Hey guys."
Hey.
Hi, Ashley.
Lindsay Litka, who was on the show previously with us, calls you out, says, "Hey."
Hi.
So thank you so much for tuning in. So we're going to jump right in. We have a bunch to get to here today. The first topic we're going to get into is, what do we think some of the most underrated and overrated musicals are? So I want to start with Tim. Tim, what are some of what? First of all, let's start with underrated first, so we can start on a positive note, and then we'll talk a bunch of shit. Sound good?
Tear it all down. Okay.
So my choice for underrated is American Idiot. I love it. I love the music. I love the way that they took the album and then applied it so well to the story.
Were you even born when Green Day was a thing?
Yes, of course.
Oh, I wasn't sure.
Still a thing. They were just on the Hella Mega tour.
You know what I mean, though. Like, were you around for
Yes, I was.
for Boulevard of Broken Dreams?
Yes, and I was an emo kid in high school.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
No, I like the way that they applied all of the music to the story and kind of created the story for the show.
It's really well written.
It's very well written.
Really
I think
is.
it's very relatable, and I wish, especially in this area, maybe not in like super like rural or like city areas, but like I wish. What's that opposite? Never mind. It doesn't matter. I wish that in areas like Hagerstown that it was a show that got done more, because I really love the story.
Well, I think the reason why it doesn't get done is the subject matter. People are afraid of it. A lot of people are afraid to do those shows that are either really hard hitting, have a lot of questionable content, we'll call it, because they don't want to get a bad name, or like I'm not gonna lie, it was not easy to perform Rent in front of 6-year-olds in the front row the first time we did it. That was not fun, nor was it something I was looking forward to. But you know what? We did it.
It was a great show.
Yeah, and the way I look at it more so now is, if the parents want to bring them, sure. If the parents don't do the research and bring them anyway, sorry, parents, that's on you.
And
Save
I mean,
your emails. I don't care. I've said that every show, by the way, just so we know.
And my take though is that like I would not mind my kids seeing American Idiot, because it's like, yeah, this probably will be your life. You'll probably either end up a drug addict or a bored suburban housewife or but I mean
wait. I know if I have kids, they're probably gonna be a born drug addict.
That's the whole point of the show, though, is that it's so easy to be young, to be a teenager, and to be like, oh, my life is going to be amazing, and then to just to be like, oh, I'm going to go off to war and have a serious life injury, a serious medical injury that's going to ruin my life. It's such a realistic show. You know what I mean? All of the things that happen to these men are things that happen to so much of us, like so many of us, and like I think it could be done really well in this area.
Yeah, I think it can.
It's funny because that's the second week in a row that show has come up because our guest last
Gideon's
week
talked about last week.
It was his favorite show, and maybe we should do it. Sliding it out there on behalf of.
It's on the list. Give me some time. It is on the list, so I'm actually really excited to do it. Just waiting on some of our venue partners to give us the thumbs up on it.
All right.
So we'll see what happens. Mae, what about you? Most underrated musical out there?
Evil Dead comes to mind. I just think it's such a good show, and not a lot of people know that it exists. I know a lot of people that have never heard of it. I just think that like the comedy aspect.
That was a Kandarian demon?
Yep, Kandarian Demon.
Jesus.
I just think that it's
Demon,
a very
Kandarian.
funny show, and not a lot of people know that it exists. I feel like they should.
And I agree with you.
It's weird. It's a weird one. I mean, it's definitely out there.
I love it.
I was talking to Heather Perry last night, and she was telling me that there is a theater company that does it that did it for an entire year.
Really?
And it just kept selling.
It's
like the
such a
only
good
show they
show.
did for I think like an entire year was Evil Dead, and people just kept buying tickets because it was that good.
So it's based on the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very good show.
It's fun. It's fun. I don't know if I'd call it good. It's you know what I mean? Like I think there's a very like distinct difference between like, okay, that was fun and like this is good. Like it's never gonna it's not gonna get nominated for Tonys. It's not gonna it's not gonna. I highly doubt it's gonna be a movie musical ever. You know what I mean? But like it's fun. Is it good?
I mean, I would say.
All right. Well, hey, that's your opinion.
My taste specifically, I guess.
Robbie doesn't like fun. Robbie doesn't like
No, I love fun. That doesn't.
Fun.
Listen, I have a lot of fun.
Just wait till you hear what he says his most overrated musical is.
Oh God.
It's the damn truth, and you know it. All right, John. I'm not talking shit yet. We'll talk shit later. John, most underrated musical out there.
All right, so mine's a bit different than yours apparently, because yours are cool. Mine's a bit more traditional, musical-y. Scarlet Pimpernel, it was out in the 90s. Frank Wildhorn wrote the music. I'm a sucker for Frank Wildhorn music. Good friend of mine starred in a couple of his shows on Broadway. But the Scarlet Pimpernel, it's like the original superhero show, if you want to think of it that way. You've got the Reign of Terror and Friends. Everybody's getting their heads chopped off, and there's this dude who is really brilliant, but he plays the fool, and nobody knows that it's him who's sneaking across the border and saving all of these people from getting their heads chopped off, and he saves them all the time. And it's the turmoil that he's dealing with in living the lie and lying to his wife about it because she doesn't even know. I mean, the opening song to this thing is Madame Guillotine. They're singing a song about having people's heads chopped off with a guillotine. It's very reminiscent of Les Mis at that moment. It's awesome.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I'll have to.
Scarlet Pimpernel. I've got the CD somewhere because it's hard to find streaming even.
Yeah.
I'll lend it to you.
Please do.
Awesome.
I think my car has a CD player. I don't know. I'll never use it. I don't know. It's an old technology now, I guess. But I think one of my pick for one of the most underrated musicals is Pippin. Truthfully, like Stephen Schwartz, the music is some of the most beautiful music written. It's absolutely amazing music and hard. I know I bitched about Sondheim a lot, but that the Pippin score is not easy either. And it's a fun story. I like breaking the fourth wall. Like
Yeah.
it's a good time for me, and I think one thing that when we did Pippin was and I directed, I encouraged it a lot more than it's actually in the script because it's very rare you get that opportunity to really break down that fourth wall. And Pippin is, and I know they did the revival, and it was nominated for a couple Tonys. I think it might have won for best revival, but they took it like to the whole circus thing and acrobatics. I like the original. Like if you can, like Pippin in Life and Times with Ben Vereen, Cheetah Rivera, who else was in it? William Catt, just a really strong cast, and it's done more of in a black box style for that version from I think it was the 80s, but incredible show, so much fun. If you haven't seen it, they just did it at the Weinberg a couple weekends ago. Our music director for Sweeney Todd, Matt Dome, was the music director for that show as well. I didn't get a chance to get out there to see it, but I think that's one of the most underrated shows out there. It doesn't get done a whole lot either.
That's what I was about to say. You never see that build anywhere.
Yeah, and it's weird because whenever we announced we were doing it, all of a sudden 2 other theaters decided to do it, and it hadn't been done in the area since. It was actually my first professional show I ever did in 2004, I think it was. So it had not been done anywhere since then. So I was like, you know what? We're going to do Pippin. We're going to do something different that hasn't been done. We announced it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're doing Pippin over here and over there. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, same thing with Hairspray. When we did Hairspray, as soon as we announced we were doing Hairspray, Bisfa was doing Hairspray in the same location 3 months
And
later.
Grease.
And I was like, and then Grease, another theater decided they were going to try to open up opening night against us, and I think they learned their lesson really quick. That's a bad idea. Not saying we're better, but when you have Ticketmaster in the Maryland Theater, you probably should have just waited a week because we sold, I think, like 1,600 tickets, 1,700 tickets that weekend.
Grease
Yeah.
had the record until when? Beauty and the
Beauty
Beast.
and the Beast, and then Beauty and the Beast had 1,800 almost.
Does it still have the record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for now. But things change. You never know. But yeah, that's my most underrated musical out there. So let's talk some shit, shall we? Overrated musicals. I'm going to start with Mae. Mae, go ahead.
Overrated?
Overrated.
Sound of Music. I just really don't like it. I've never.
You don't like the Edelweiss?
I don't. I just have never liked Sound of Music. I think some of the music gets overplayed so much that it gets annoying. Like, I don't know.
But you were at 116 going on 17.
I was, and I can tell you that I never once sang the song. Like, I can say that for a fact.
Well, that's sad.
All right, here's my beef with the musical, though, and this is annually.
Okay.
This song, My Favorite Things, is not a holiday song.
No.
Stop it. If you're on the radio and you're playing it, stop it now.
I'm pretty sure Ryan Smetzer plays it on the radio all the time.
Oh, Smetsy. There's
Ryan
nothing
Spencer, who
holiday
was
about
in
this.
a production of Sound of Music for a moment.
It's annoying to me.
It's a classic, though. Thanks, Jay. You can walk on camera. Is that mine?
Phone, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, guys. My life wasn't working. I couldn't do anything, so I had to get our producer Jay to hook me up with the Wi-Fi password so I can share this out there. So that was Jay. You just saw him on camera. He's a great guy over here at Venue Media.
Yeah.
Make sure you're doing some advertising here at Venue Media. Check in with Jay and Christine. They'll hook you up, and their prices can't be beaten. They really can't. Are you guys still doing 30 days for $30? For the Radio Free Hub City, it's 30 days, $30 for whatever you want to do. So make sure if you have a local business or even a large business, you got something coming up, hit up Venue Media and give them show them some love because that's homegrown here. So very exciting stuff. But anyway, I'm sorry, John. Go ahead, buddy. You were kind of going in there. Was that it?
That was pretty much it. Although Lindsay apparently agrees with me about Scarlet Pimpernel because she has good taste.
So, John, overrated musical.
Oh, that's easy. Into the Woods.
Oh, thank God, yes.
Thank you.
Here's the deal with Into the Woods.
I'm seeing a.
When you start the musical, it's great. By about halfway through, it's fantastic. and they should stop there. I don't know the story behind the author, the guy who wrote the musical or anything, but in my mind, I like to think that he was a great guy who had everything going for him, and then everything went wrong in his life. Maybe his wife divorced him, maybe his dog died, maybe, I don't know. But all of a sudden, the whole show goes wrong and never really recovers, and I wasn't into that. I just kept sitting there through the rest of the show saying, really?
And the movie had some really good parts. It's Meryl Streep was in the movie, so it's she's Meryl Streep. But James Corden?
You didn't like James Corden in there.
Who allowed him? Who called him?
Can I give you my issue with Into the Woods? It's still not my most overrated musical out there, but so Into the Woods, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, well, I'm saving you whatever money you spend on it and 4 hours of your fucking time because it's terrible. But my problem with the whole thing is the baker's wife. It's my problem with the whole thing. So in the show, she's running around. The prince is trying to have sex with her. And she's like, this isn't part of my story, like over and over again, like she shouldn't do it, and has sex with him anyway. Yeah. And then blames the fact that the narrator's dead, so she doesn't know her story. But in the music, she's saying this isn't part of my story. Has sex with him while the baker is out looking for her and fighting giants and trolls and stuff. I didn't feel bad when the bitch died. I was like, kudos. And then he was all sad and stuff, but I was like, why? Why? She's a terrible human being. It was not. And then the rapey wolf can't get over it. I think the rapey wolf in the stage productions are always just way overdone, and it's just unnecessary. I understand where you're going with it with Little Red, but meh. I don't like it. I think it's weird. I think it's gross. And again, to the baker's wife, you deserved what you got.
Yeah, James Lapine did the book. And much like everything he did with Sondheim, it just didn't make a lot of sense. I don't know if you've ever seen Sunday in the Park with George, but again, another story where you get halfway through the show and then they're like, okay, we're going to fast forward 100 years. And now we're going to talk about the main character's grandson. And it's but we were already so invested in the original story, we just didn't need to,
Why?
It's a trend.
Okay. So if you're ever watching Into the Woods and everything's looking great and happy and you're satisfied, turn it off, walk out of the theater, whatever you need to do, just walk away.
Leave it there.
Just know that's as good as it's going to get. Yeah. Now, I will say there is some good music in there. Sure. I can appreciate that, but the show as a whole, it's the music's not good enough to carry such a garbage show. It's just not. Tim, what about you? Most overrated musical out there today?
Seussical. I hate it. I saw it, and the people that were in it were fantastic performers. This was nothing against the people that were in the production, but I left the theater being like, what happened? It just, again, much like Into the Woods, it's you get halfway through and everything's going fine, and then out of nowhere you're like, oh, we're in a zoo now. We've completely broken out of the world that we've established, and now Horton is in a traveling zoo, and there's a lot of chaotic things happen. It's just a very poorly written story, and I think it could have been cool, because the world that Dr. Seuss created is so elaborate and interesting. It just doesn't work as a musical. I think it's terrible.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, is it bad that I've just never been a fan of anything Dr. Seuss my entire life? No. I find it to be annoying. I find nobody talks like that. Why are you writing books like that? It's weird to me. I don't like it. I don't know.
I know the story that's inside of Mae's head, and she should just go ahead and say it. Your Seussical story.
My mom and my brother went to go see Seussical whenever my brother was a kid, and Aaron Carter was JoJo. And they were sitting in the theater, and it was my brother's first show that he saw on Broadway, and Aaron Carter popped up right in front of him, and my brother was about to be like, you're Aaron Carter, and he just went like this and went on stage.
I still hate it.
I think that's the only good thing about Seussical.
Yeah,
that Aaron Carter
I'm not a fan of Seussical either. Again, it's just, I don't know, it's weird.
I like some of the music, the things you can think cool. For a kid's show, there's some good highlights in there. But when they started bringing out the bird with the long tail feathers, and she had this, she laid this egg and then gave it to Horton, and she left for like a year, abandoning her child.
Take my kid. I don't want
sitting there
it.
saying, this is kind of heavy for a kid's show. Like, okay, that's how we're rolling here. Meanwhile, Rhythm Rhymes. Cool. How do you explain this to a child after the show? Okay.
Why did she give away her baby?
The same reason I should have given you away. I'm in a weird mood today, guys.
Brittany
hang on
Atwater,
tight.
I love you so dearly, but I disagree. I understand that you love Seussical, but I just do not love Seussical.
Can I just? All right, I'm gonna piss everybody off now. We ready? You ready? The world's most overrated musical, bar none. I have two of them, but I'm gonna start with this. Mamma Mia. It is the worst musical on planet Earth. It's terrible. The storyline is fucking stupid. There's no other way to put it. So what I'll say is, first of all, if anybody here at this table would get a random wedding invitation from some girl that they have no idea who they are, that says, hey, come to Greece to be at my wedding. I know you don't know me, but you slept with my mom 20 years ago. You should come, and then pay their own way to go to Greece for a wedding for somebody you don't know because you slept with her mom in high school? No, that is the most asinine story, and all this so she can find out who her daddy is. No, bullshit. Just send me the test. I'll send you the test back. We can just get to it and see. Like, I get it. The music is great. Like, I understand. Like, ABBA, like it's good music. It's fun music, but the storyline is so stupid. So stupid that I can't. It drives me absolutely crazy.
Brittany Atwater disagrees with you wholeheartedly here. Just letting you know. She said that some moms want to give their kids away. Just throwing that out there. But also that you're completely wrong, and that she would be their wedding crasher.
Okay, so go ahead and book your plane ticket to Greece. There's a wedding next week. Okay, you book your ticket to Greece, Brittany Atwater, and then I'll believe what you say. But until then. No, because you didn't even come to my wedding. She didn't even come to my wedding and was invited. And like,
just personally attacking Brittany.
No, I'm just saying.
Sound Musical, Seussical, Mamma Mia. Brittany, do you like Into the Woods too? Or are we just attacking you right now on live?
No,
we love Brittany. We love you.
I've known Brittany
We just
forever.
don't love these musicals.
But she didn't come to my wedding, and she was like,
it wasn't
she
in
was like
Greece.
12 miles away and didn't come. So
Think that she might possibly be
She
your
said you
parent.
didn't invite me. She said she didn't get an invite. Oh, Robbie.
I don't remember.
She said she loves Into the
And
Woods.
she loves Into the Woods.
Oh, Brittany, I'm sorry. No, of course we would never block you for your opinion. But no, I just find Mamma Mia again. The music is fun. I get it. Is it as good as everyone makes it out to be with that god awful storyline? No, it's not. It's gross. It's stupid. The other one I will say as well. Hamilton. Not worth $1,200 a ticket. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, it is a music about the founding that is set to hip hop music. That's cool. Not worth $1,200 a ticket. I saw the Disney Plus. I was forced to watch it, unfortunately. There's no way you're getting $100 out of me to see that show. Like I'm just not. I would not go see it for that much money, especially people paying $1,200 a ticket.
I don't know that I'd pay that much for any show.
So we can talk about this because I saw it on Broadway with the second cast with Javier Munoz right before he had to leave.
The good version without Lin-Manuel.
Yes,
Okay.
I can agree that
Thank
he
you.
definitely has some flaws. I love Javier Munoz, though. But I thought that it was so worth it. Like, I loved seeing it live. And I also think that, like, we talked about this. The show was one of the first shows to kind of push a little bit with not having roles specifically cast for certain races.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't matter what race, ethnicity, whatever you were. It didn't matter for whatever role you wanted.
Right.
And I like the diversity. I think that it needs to be shown everywhere right now.
Which I agree to, and it was a good opportunity for people of color to, which I think is bullshit that they had to have a show written like that for it to be like, hey, let's cast a person of color in this role. Like, I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And anybody who's been around authentic community theater for a long enough time, I could care less if you're white, brown, black, purple, blue. Like, your race doesn't matter to me when it comes to the casting. If a show or if a character has always been white, and let's say a person of color wanted to come out and audition for that role, and they were the best one for that role, I could care less. Would I cast? And somebody asked me when we were doing Sound of Music, I would cast a black Nazi. I don't know, probably not a big enough part for me to really give a shit. But no, I agree with you. It was good for that. Worth $1,200 a ticket? No. No. Plus staying in New York City and no, I'm good. I'm just. There's no chance I would ever.
But the real question is, Mae, do you remember how much you paid for that ticket?
Me myself,
she paid
no
$0.
Do you know how much somebody else paid for that specific ticket?
No, I do not.
Listen, if I
got
paid
surprised with it.
If I paid $0 and went to see that show, I'd be like, that was way too much money for that ticket.
I don't know. I really like the way the stage is set up.
If Lynn was playing Hamilton, I would have been like, yeah, that wasn't worth the free ticket at all.
Javier Muñoz was phenomenal.
So you really, really dislike him?
He sucks.
He hates this man.
There is nothing good about him other than the fact he can write. He should never be on stage, on TV, on anything. He's terrible. Have you seen his face?
I've seen his face.
Like watch his stupid face whenever he's doing anything. Like his eye gets droopy, and he looks like he just like he's in. Like, you can watch him on TV, and he's in the middle of a conversation with somebody, and they're having a dialogue, and his eye just goes. And then snaps back in the scene when he has to talk. Like, he's just, I don't know. I find him to be terrible at everything.
If he's watching, what would you say?
You suck.
Robbie! No.
I'd say it to his face whenever Cece and Savannah ran into him in New York, and they were like, oh my God, Lin-Manuel's over there. I was like, go tell him he sucks at everything he does.
His stack of $10,000 cash and smack you in the head with it because...
That's great. He has money. He's a great composer. He's a brilliant writer. I'll never take that from him, but I don't think he should ever be on stage
Amanda
on
Lawrence
TV.
disagrees.
Yeah.
Everyone's allowed to be wrong once in a while. It's okay.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Robbie. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm glad that you owned up to it.
Personal opinions. Everybody's entitled and allowed to have one.
Wasn't he in the Cats movie?
No.
Wasn't he?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I mean, who watched that atrocity anyway?
I know, it was not good.
Did anybody see Cats, the movie with? As soon as I heard that Jason Derulo was in it, and Taylor Swift, and I was like,
Dench.
And then Rebel Wilson. Ugh, like,
was
why?
James Corden in that too?
Yeah,
he
was.
Anything. I just don't like him.
See, I like James. I
really
Corden.
don't.
I thought James Corden was great in Prom. I really did. I thought he did well in that show.
I liked that. I just don't like him. He also showed up to the Met Gala in just a plain suit, and that's disrespectful to me. Like, do better.
Well, I mean, and James Corden caught a lot of flack because he's a straight man and he was playing a gay man, and there was a lot of people who thought that he shouldn't have ever been cast in that role as a straight man, which I respectfully disagree with. I thought he did really well in that role.
Yeah.
Could it have been? Yeah, I mean, could it have been used? Or could they have used somebody in the LGBT community? Absolutely, they could have. The question is one, did they want to, or was James Corden the best one that came out? I thought he did well in the movie. I really did. I'm not a huge fan of The Prom. I thought it was okay, but I thought James Corden did really well in that film. Was very convincing. I thought his songs were done well. I don't know. I thought he did okay. So,
Amanda Lawrence didn't like Taylor Swift. She said she is the worst, and she was the reason specifically that she didn't watch the movie.
Oh yeah, and who did Memories? It was
Jennifer Hudson.
It was Jay Hudson.
Who you also think is under or overrated?
No, I don't.
That was a hot take from a few months ago. But
What did you just say?
There was a large chunk of time when you stood by the fact that you thought Jennifer Hudson was
in the
overrated.
left corner, we have
What?
Robbie Soto. In the right corner,
Tim's just over here making up rumors. I have never said that.
I'm speaking the truth here.
I can vouch.
Okay.
That's horseshit. No, I think Jennifer Hudson is phenomenally talented. Do I think she needs to be put in everything on planet Earth?
There's the hot take.
No. Look, it's not that I think she's not talented. They just use her for everything. Like,
Wasn't she on the Hamilton mixtape?
It gets to the point where it becomes, you start to, when you overuse talent like that from a management perspective, when you overuse talent like that, eventually they fizzle out, and they fizzle out so quick. You're getting everything you can out of them as if they're a cash cow, and you're sucking everything in. And then whenever it's like, oh, okay, now everyone's over Jennifer Hudson because she's been in everything, what else is there for her to do? Then she spends the rest of her years not performing anymore, which is, she has many other things she can do, I'm sure of it. However, I want to see her perform for a long time, and she has the talent to do it for a long time. And I just feel like they're going to suck her dry to the point where she's just not going to be able to do it anymore. Like that's my issue is not her talent. I just think she's in fucking everything.
Yeah, I think Cats was she sung the hell out of that song. I just think that was a bad place for her. I loved her in Hairspray Live though. When she sung "I Know Where I've Been" in Hairspray Live, that was probably
she was great.
That was probably one of my favorite renditions of that song.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna take this topic since we have we're not gonna do an interview with Mae since it was such last minute. She didn't have any time to prep anything. So I'm gonna take this topic a little bit further. Who are some of the most overrated Broadway actors and actresses?
I know you're. Never mind. I'll keep it to myself.
No, who am I gonna say, Tim? Since you know me so well.
Telly Long.
All right. There's others, but Telly Long does suck. I think I've said it on the podcast. That's why you know. But Mae, do you have anybody off the top of your head? Anybody who's just kind of just overrated? They're not as great as everyone thinks they are, but they get put in everything or they're used constantly.
James Corden. I sound like I have something against him because I think I do. I don't like him. I think that some of the stuff that he does.
I think his late night show is terrible.
Yeah, his show is terrible.
I don't like his late night show at all. I think it's terrible.
I don't like James Corden.
Carpool karaoke, I think is
I love carpool karaoke.
Really? I just find it. I don't know. I think it's a dumb segment.
And whatever he does is epic rap battles against the people that are.
I hate that.
Well, I will say the one thing I enjoy on James Corden's show is when he had on Gordon Ramsay and they had to either answer the question or eat or drink something there was bull testicles and
Gordon ate it.
I did enjoy that. I'm like, that's hysterical, but that's not the first time that segment's been done anywhere before. Right. But no, I'm not a huge fan of his show.
Crosswalk musicals.
Oh yeah.
I can't. Some I can't get behind. I just can't.
I'm amazed nobody's gotten run over for that.
Literally.
It's only a matter of time, John. It'll happen eventually.
What would they do if there was an ambulance or an emergency vehicle?
Well, I think
What would they do?
When they do that, they actually have to shut down the street legally. So just like when we shut down the street on Potomac, the ambulances are detoured and or they call in another fire company or ambulance company.
Sorry, I know your mom fell, but we have to take a detour. James Corden's doing.
It's planned for. It's planned for.
So
Tim, worst or most overrated.
So this is gonna be an episode full of hot takes, but
we're just talking all different kinds of shit today. I love it.
I love it. Yeah, that's
what I'm here for.
I don't think, much like Lin-Manuel Miranda, just because you write a show does not mean that you are entitled to sing it as the lead. And I'm talking specifically about Sarah Bareilles. Bareilles. I'm talking about Miss Sarah Bareilles. I think that Waitress is a beautiful show. I'm not a huge fan of it. Honestly, I would actually put that on my list of shows that I find incredibly overrated because I just don't think it's that good. But when you hear people like Jessie Mueller or even Jordan Sparks whenever she played the role, when you hear these powerhouse vocalists kill this role, you kind of have to say to yourself, why did you write a character that you really couldn't sing that well? And then you continue to put yourself back on Broadway playing the role. Oh my. You continue to put yourself...
Is somebody dead upstairs?
Yeah, that sounds like it.
So you're allowed to say that about Sarah Bareilles, but I'm not allowed to say that about Lin-Manuel?
I never said you weren't allowed to say it.
Yeah, you're allowed to say it.
I just said that there are going to be a lot of people who are going to hate you for it. And I think the same can be said about me. I don't like her. I'm not a huge fan of her solo music. I'm not a huge fan of her performances in that role. And there's a lot of people who have been. That show specifically is the one that I oh my goodness. That show specifically, I mean, the people that they've thrown into all of those roles, I'm like, these publicity stunts are so detrimental to the actual show itself, because it's like, when this show is being done by like trained performers, it's fantastic. And whenever they're being done by like random like sitcom performers and like YouTube stars and like these random people are being thrown into the roles, I'm like, this is terrible.
Todrick Hall playing Lola and Kinky Boots.
Todrick Hall playing
anything.
I saw him play Billy Flynn in Chicago, and Todrick Hall's another one. So Sarah Bareilles and Todrick Hall. I love Todrick Hall, but I've seen him live in a Broadway show, and it's the Todrick Hall show. And
when we were looking to bring him in to do Seaweed, he was actually going to be the first person we brought in of caliber or any kind of like star caliber to do a show with us. We were talking to Darren Criss to play Link Larkin in Hairspray, and then we were talking to Todrick Hall about playing Seaweed, and we were trying to choose between. So for one night they tried to say that he would cost me over $500,000 for one night.
That's insane.
And he wouldn't rehearse. He refused to come to rehearsals. We were required to send him everything he needed. He would prepare himself, and he would show up the day of the show, do the show, and leave. No like meet and greets, no signings, no rehearsing with the cast, no nothing. It was like $520,000 for one night, and I was like, you've lost your fucking mind.
He wasn't in the wrong spot.
No, it was 500. They wrote 50 or 52, whatever it was, K.
Who's paid this?
I don't. Dumb people.
Probably no one.
And mind you, Darren Criss was he was still uber expensive. He was $85,000 for the night for one night, which is still really expensive. But again, Darren Criss is at that point was still, and he still is, but he was a megastar. He had just come off, I think, How to Succeed.
Yeah.
He had just come off that.
And Hedwig. He was on
and Hedwig.
Yeah.
Yep. So
more than 5 times that amount.
Yeah.
For Todrick.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which was redonkulous to me. But why they said it is because of his YouTube fame, that you'll be able to cross over an entire different demographic. I was like, that's great. I only have 1,300 tickets to sell, and I'd have to sell them, at $500 a piece, just to even break even to pay for just Todrick. I was like, so that's just not going to happen. And again, they are. Darren Criss is actually somebody I've kept in touch with. His manager is somebody that I've thought about trying to bring out for a master class. So that might happen in the future. You never know. But John, do you have anybody overrated?
Before I go there, so Amanda.
Amanda's commenting away. Go ahead, Amanda. Thank you for commenting.
That we are killing her. Waitress is her favorite show that we saw. Todrick Hall and Colleen Ballinger in Waitress, and they were amazing. So maybe they paid the $500,000.
Sure as hell ain't. So I think another one I think is slightly overrated. Jordan Fisher.
Yeah.
Jordan Fisher. When I heard he was playing Mark in the what was supposed to be Rent Live, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Rehearsal.
Yeah.
Really?
I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like Jordan Fisher, like there's no way. Like I thought he did well as Duty when he was in Grease Live.
Duty, yeah.
Like, he was okay. But then when I heard he was doing Mark, I was like, no, what? Like he doesn't. And then I watched, and I was like, yeah, no, that was awful. That was not good. A good role for him. But I mean, he's another one that's like every time you turn around, he's in another show doing another show. It's like I don't see how he's getting cast as some of these things. But I think he's definitely one that's way up there. And yeah, I will say Telly Long, who he was I think as big as he was in Godspell. He was in the Gospel Revival on Broadway. He's considered Mr. Broadway, right? At this point, he was Aladdin on Broadway. I find him. He's one of those bitchy Broadway tenors that's like not really a tenor, and doesn't really have that strong of a voice at all. But they just kind of pussyfoot through the whole thing.
Was he the original Aladdin?
No, he was the Aladdin when we went to go see it. When we went. I will say I then watched.
Were you there? Did you see it?
You saw it, right?
I saw School of Rock with you guys.
Oh, you didn't come with us to see Aladdin. Yeah,
No,
he was.
that
He
was
was
the one that I missed.
He was Aladdin, and he actually jumped in a picture. I didn't want his picture. I was at the stage door, and he jumped in a picture. I was trying to take a picture of the girl who played Jasmine. I can't remember her name, but I was trying to take a picture of her, and he jumped in. I was like,
No, sir.
Wow.
let's lean
Love
this
the
way.
enthusiasm.
No, I'm not trying to take a picture. I swear to God, Tully, I don't like you. But no, I did see a video where he did A Whole New World in like 15 different languages, and the piano player was just yelling random stuff out, like from Italian to French to Mandarin to Cantonese and he just switched on a dime on the language, and that was
cool.
Which is, again, it's talent, but he's not that good. Apparently, he's the nicest guy on planet Earth. I talked to one of his colleagues at one point who was in Aladdin with him, and he told me about a time where like Telly can do no wrong on Broadway, like ever. Like he is, like I said, he is Mr. Broadway. Everybody loves him. So he writes down every note he gets, the date that it was given and who gave it, and he was given a note. He made a change, and then I guess it was the director of the choreographer, I can't remember which, was like, hey, Telly, you changed that, and you weren't supposed to. He was like, yes, I was. And they were like, no, you weren't. And in the middle of an entire rehearsal with everybody there, he pulls his book out of his bag and flipped to the page and said, on this day, you told me to do this at this time, and showed it to everybody. And I was like, that's how people get, like, fired. And they were just like, oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Long. I'm so sorry. I'm like, what? In what world do you get to get away with that? And you're not that.
What would you do if I did that
Well, he
to
was
you?
probably
I'd be
very
pissed.
He was probably very polite about it. Like,
I don't care. It's still bullshit. I don't like him.
Don't get
I
bored if you don't.
don't like him. I don't know. But anyway, let's move on to our second
Wait,
topic.
did Mae and John say who they thought was overrated?
Where have you been?
I mean, I almost did, but if I say it, then I'm going to make a whole lot of enemies. So we.
No, say it.
Say it.
All right, here it goes. So,
Lin-Manuel. He's going to finally admit it.
I'll say it's a dream show of mine to see. I've never seen it, but I've heard so many soundtracks. It's obscene. Sarah Brightman is overrated. I'm sorry. Phantom of the Opera.
Ooh.
She's all right. She's a great opera singer, and yes, it's Phantom of the Opera. I get it, but I've heard so many soundtracks where other people just slate it completely.
I can agree with that.
So much more emotion into it. Like, she is completely by the book, generic opera. Cool, you got the singing pipes, whatever.
I'll tell you, like, it's a struggle for me to sit back and watch her perform now. Like whenever like think about the what was it, the when they were doing the show Must Go On, they showed Phantom for free over YouTube or whatever, and they had her come out and sing with the other Phantoms. I was like, you don't got it anymore, sis. Like you did once upon a time, but that was like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like you don't like it's not all there anymore. And I feel like, you ever see like this is a terrible comparison, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Do you ever feel like, have you ever seen like a breeding dog, like how their nipples are like sagged out and they look just kind of used up? Right? I feel like, and I'm not talking about her nipples, but what I'm saying is I feel like that's what Andrew Lloyd Webber has done to her, where he has sucked and been like, oh my God, you were amazing, and you're amazing, and I'm just going to keep on dragging you along for as long as you can.
It took a little while for you to get through that metaphor.
But I think you got there.
Really concerned.
You got there.
As soon as I said like the dog's teats were, I was like, wait, I'm not talking about her nipples. I'm not doing it on air. Well, I'm not doing it all, not just on air.
Wow, I can't wait
I'm in a weird mood today. I'm in a weird.
Lin-Manuel.
Hey there.
I feel like Sierra Bonkers and
never.
Ramin Karimloo were the best Christine and Phantom.
I'll have another unpopular put. I thought Gerard Butler played a fantastic Phantom.
No.
I loved it. I thought he was great. For somebody who didn't have like really any musical training at all, to do what he did with that role, and I thought the acting was A1. I thought he played a great role, and I was not mad at his voice the entire time. I liked the scratchiness of it. I liked the rawness of that voice, especially in the emotional scenes, like All I Ask of You reprise that he does. Like, I love that. I thought it was very strong, and he caught so much shit for that role, but I was like, this guy has no training, and I thought he did great. I didn't listen to it and go, oh, I'm offended by this. It wasn't like listening to Lin-Manuel rap on stage for 3 hours in Hamilton.
Maybe I could be Phantom.
I guess it's just like, for me, like, the thing that I always have to think is, like, do you want somebody where you have to justify their performance and why their performance was good? Or do you just want somebody who has been trained to do it to the point where it's so good that you see it and you're just like, that's fucking fantastic. You know, I just wish that instead of casting celebrities who have talent in some areas but not in other areas, that we would just cast equity performers who are good at all of it. Just because they're not the name, like, you're gonna watch it and you're not gonna care that they aren't the name, because you're gonna just be so in love with their performance.
But Tim, you're a junior producer. I'm gonna need you to learn that part of the business real quick, buddy.
Well, but I'm also a consumer,
right?
And as a consumer, that's my opinion.
And I completely get it. But I mean, when a show starts to see the attendance take the downswing, that's usually when they bring in somebody. It's like, oh, okay, this will get tickets up, like a Todrick Hall or something.
But
Hugh Jackman's amazing.
But Robbie, let me ask you this.
Cool.
Let me ask you this. Would you have rather seen in the Aladdin movie Will Smith or Major Attaway?
Major Attaway.
Exactly. That's my point.
But I
would
understand.
he have sold as much as Will Smith?
No.
But would all of the people who were going to see the movie, regardless because it was a live adaptation of Aladdin, would they have been happier with a Major Attaway?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's my point.
And me and Major actually had that conversation when I picked him up from the airport, because it had just come out recently. I think a few months before he came last October, and we were talking about it. I was like, you worked for Disney. You couldn't like throw your name like just in the hat real quick and be like, hey, I'm interested. And he said, he was like, Will Smith. He's great at what he does. He was like, he's not a singer. And they based the movie around him again to try to get more people who may not be into the Disney live action remakes, who have seen some really shitty Disney live action remakes. Like, let's be honest, Lion King was garbage. It just wasn't what it should have been. But you try to get those people in, like, oh, it's Will Smith. Everyone loves Will Smith. And I Major Attaway all day. Friend Like Me, or wasn't Friend Like Me. Prince Ali.
Yeah.
Turn that into a hip hop number. My wife was sitting there. She was like, "Oh, it's so good." I was like, "What?" I was like, "They did it because he can't sing, not because it was a thought from a director before they cast him." They were like, "Oh, we're stuck with Will Smith. Guess we have to do this one because he can't sing it."
Right.
You know, which it is what it is. Anyway, we've been talking shit for a long time.
Let's talk some more.
All right. So let's go to topic 2. We got about 30 minutes left, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. Thank you for all the chats. We really appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button, as well as make sure you share it with your friends. Tell them to watch the podcast. We have a lot of fun here, as you can see. We are still trying to plan our night of debate on Lin-Manuel live in studio here with a live audience, so I can tell everybody why they're wrong who thinks that Lin-Manuel is good. And John can shake his head at me the entire night. But I want to get into the second topic here because
it's a fun one.
It's fun.
It's loaded.
What are some of the most frustrating moments that you've experienced with an actor on stage? Doesn't have to be you. You don't have to be a director, but any other actor on stage. What's the most frustrating? Some of the most frustrating things. Let's go with Mae first as the guest.
So this is a more recent one, and this wasn't during a performance, it was during a rehearsal, and I have never had so much pure, like, anxiety and, like, anger on stage in this moment. In the middle of a scene, and it happened 2 times in the same rehearsal of a tech week, like literally 2 nights before open, and this happens. I guess I don't really know where the miscommunication was between me and these other actors, but it was just me and this other person on stage. And I think I might have messed up my line previously, so that's on me. But instead of that actor recovering, that actor slowly backed off stage and left me there.
Just
Just left. Just decided to exit.
This isn't
With
mine.
no words.
This isn't mine, but I was in a show one time where somebody was supposed to have, it was like a huge song coming up, and there was the guy, he was older, nice guy, literally looked at us, we're on stage, we're waiting for him to give the line right before the cue for the song, and he just and turned around and walked away. Walked and we were all standing there like, we got a whole number to do, have no idea. So we're all standing there like, Tech needs to do something. Like, we got nothing at this point. Like, this is his song. Nobody else knows
and, like,
it.
Happened to me.
Look, they ended up turning the lights off eventually. But we were standing there for like 10 seconds just like.
It happened to me it happened in one scene, and then like the literal next scene, a different actor did it to me. And both times, I was like, wow, tonight's really not my night.
I saw this show. Your performance was fantastic.
Exactly. And no disrespect, no disrespect to them. Like, it was a really long night. Like, it was Wednesday of Tech. We all know that Wednesdays suck. But like, it ended up being phenomenal in the end, and that's fine. Like, we did phenomenally in the end, and I felt great about it. But like, just them looking at me and just being like, not even turning around and walking, keeping eye contact and backing away.
And not even going to like the last line in the show.
Like,
just
literally
being like,
that. Just being like,
Can we just admit here on air that it is a terrible idea if you are blanking to just be like, I don't know. And then leave. Like, I mean, I would rather, especially in a rehearsal, I would rather somebody just go, all right, stop, hold on, I got nothing here. I had somebody skip 42 pages.
Oh my God,
42 pages. I was livid. Listen, it was the biggest diva moment I've ever thrown in my life. I had somebody skip 42 pages. I had two big bits. It was a comedy show. I'm not gonna say the name of the theater, but it was a comedy show. I had two big bits that got passed. And I was on this side of the stage, and then where they jumped to, I was supposed to enter from that side, and there was no way at this theater to get from this side to that side in any kind of quiet way. So I literally just walked across this window. There was like this big open window. I was like, I got nowhere I can go, so I just walked straight across. I was so mad. And then the director tried to get me to come upstairs for notes. I went downstairs in the dressing room after the show was over, and I was just pissed. Like, 42 pages is a lot. Yeah. Nobody stopped anything. The stage man. And this was dress rehearsal, so there was no answer. Nobody stopped anything. No one was like, "Hey, we just skipped." Like, we didn't skip 5 lines. We skipped 42 pages, half the show. Nobody stopped us. He was like, "You gotta come upstairs for notes." I was like, "Fuck you and your notes. No, I'm not coming upstairs at all." I was like, I wasn't in the damn show for really anything because we skipped the pages. Nobody did anything. I'm going home. Y'all wasted my time. Get them off book. And then I'll come back, which is bad coming from me. Let's be honest. Me telling somebody that this is a problem, that y'all don't know lines. Like, I was livid. I had never been that much of a diva ever before in my life. But I was like, 42 pages. I was like, no, that's not even close. Like, that's not close. Yeah. Somebody's gonna stop us. So
no one's stopping.
Is anyone gonna stop us? Mm-hmm. Are we gonna stop? And I'm like peeking out this like window. Like, seriously? Like, we're just gonna. Screw it, here we go. And just walked across me. I was like, here I am. Like, my performance the rest of that dress rehearsal was garbage because I was so mad. I was angry. But anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take that from, but like,
no, it's frustrating.
It is. In a rehearsal, please stop when it gets that bad. Like, and I don't know, maybe some directors are just like, absolutely not, no stopping. But like, if it's that bad, you just have to stop and be like hold on, let's fix this.
A very dear friend of ours forgot to propose.
Oh God! that was during rehearsal.
Yeah, that was during rehearsal. So, and then you just
Ben
have to
Smith
be like,
didn't propose to Kristen
you
during
just have
Oklahoma
to say
rehearsal.
Stop.
Or like in Godspell,
and she got
whenever
down
Jerry
on one
played
knee
the music
and was like, "I'll do it."
To We Was A.C.T. Jerry played the music like way before, like same scene, but like way before.
The beginning
and I literally stood up and went, "No, we're not. No, we cannot continue."
We tried to keep going. We tried.
Like, it's one of those things where, like, if you're in a rehearsal, I understand it's a dress rehearsal, it's a tech rehearsal, you got it. But like, if it's that bad, just stop. Just be like, whoa, let's hold on, reset real quick. You missed this. Here's your book. You ready? You good? All right, let's kick right back in. Yeah. Because it's super frustrating. John, what about you? I know you haven't been on stage in a while, but do you have anything where you just wanted to kill one of your fellow actors?
Or something you saw one of us?
Yeah, no.
Do you have something you've witnessed?
Oh, I mean, there were some pants once on a dude that I saw that scarred me, but I mean, we're past set now. So,
Absolutely.
Got it in. Oh, God.
Got it in. Is that like a goal to get in every episode?
Every episode.
Single
Every episode. I have to tell people every episode I don't care, save their emails, and every episode we have to talk about Tim's penis showing in the gold in the pants.
Nice.
Every episode. And we've been successful thus far.
I spoke about that last night, actually.
Oh, your mom's watching?
To Ryan Perry.
Oh, sorry.
We talked about
sorry,
the
Mrs.
fans.
Hall. Oh. So, John, so what was yours?
So on stage, I'm there with this counterpart that we're talking and we're trying to plan things out, and things are looking good, and it's one of those kind of turning point moments in the show, and this other character is supposed to barge on stage, interrupt us, and push us apart because it's also a romantic time when things are starting to come together, and just screw everything up. Only one problem. She was nowhere to be found. Not just on stage, but once we got off stage, nobody could find her. Like, she was just gone.
Just passed out in the dressing room.
Yeah, she came back later saying, I had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, no.
Listen,
We've all been there.
You gotta take that PSP before the show starts.
So that was a couple of minutes of us just kind of ad-libbing out there on stage with whatever we could think of, and eventually it worked, but yeah. Some little bit of tension there, a little bit of awkwardness. Life is good.
I can imagine. I've been there.
Mind you, we were 12.
Yeah.
So.
Well, our very first production
You're 12, that's
that
fine.
we did at ACT was Wizard of Oz, and opening night, the Scarecrow forgot that we still had a full tornado scene. Just didn't
I
come.
thought you were gonna
Just
talk about me.
didn't come on stage. And so we're like, where's Hickory? And we're like, nobody knows where Hickory is. Hickory has these lines. We have no clue. So I'm running off stage just yelling, Hickory, where are you? And we're like, well, screw it. We're just going to keep going. Doesn't matter. And we just kept going. I go downstairs. He's in the dressing room putting on his Scarecrow makeup. I was like, hey, man. He was like, hey. I was like, makeup looks good. He was like, yeah. I was like, forget something? He was like, and he's looking in the mirror. I'm like, no, like that scene. Did you forget? He was like, oh, shit. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, sorry about that. And I was like, it wasn't that big of a deal because it's a throwaway scene anyway. But still, it was like, man, you just disappearing. Tim, what about you, buddy?
Well, first off,
you have notes and stuff today.
I need to know. May, please tell us all what you did during Wizard of Oz.
During opening night? Oh.
No, I did not know any of you at this point. I did not see this production, but I've heard the story.
There's a dressing room in the Maryland Theater. It's the biggest dressing room. It's really long. And then there's There's a separate room that has a shower in it.
Mind you, it's required when you have an equity actor that you offer that they have access to a shower, which is why it's there. Anyway,
yeah, so there's a shower in the dressing room, and there was a stool in the shower that I wanted to sit on. I wanted the stool, and I was full costume, hair, makeup. I even had a mic on. Like, I had a microphone on. And I picked the stool up, and it hit the shower handle, and the shower turned on. Like, what was this, 25 minutes before curtain?
something like that.
Like, real close. And I was a munchkin, so, like, I was in the beginning. And I immediately, like, ran out and, like, stripped in the dressing room and ripped off my mic. And who came and got you? Because I know I for sure did not.
Well, I can't remember who came and got me, but they were like, Mae's soaked. And I was like, what? I'm like, Mae's soaked.
And this was my first show with you, so you didn't even know me.
I was like, the hell you mean Mae soaked? She's like, she was in the shower. I was like, why is she in the shower? It's like, why is she in the shower? She was like, I don't know, but she's soaked. And I was like, okay, give her a towel. Like, not thinking like she's dressed, makeup, hair's done. I was like, so give her a towel. And they're like, no, she's in her costume. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
And you thought that nobody would find out. You tried to make it, but then, just go ahead. Where did you put my costume, Robbie? Where did you decide to put my costume in front of a fan? Was it in the middle of the hallway?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
I was like, just don't tell anybody. Like, I'm really embarrassed. And you said, let me just put your costume in the middle of the hallway.
First of all, never tell me something embarrasses you because I'm just going to make it worse.
I was so embarrassed.
Let's get that away. But yeah, no, that was fun. Because I was like, what the hell you want me to do? Like, what? Okay, she's wet. Like,
I was crying. I was nervous that, like, you were going to be like, well, she can't go on stage.
And that was It was right after I did the live video.
Yeah.
Because in the live video, you were like, I want to be included.
Did she really
And then what?
I was
13?
I think, yeah.
It was June of 2015.
Yeah, I was.
Oh my gosh.
15, yeah.
Yeah.
June 2015, I think it was.
No, it was 2017.
Oh, yeah, because I came back in 2015. Yeah, you're right. It's 2017.
I'm pretty sure I was like 14.
14 or 15.
13
something
or
like that.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Tim, I need
Full of
yours
anxiety.
now.
Okay, yes. Okay, so this one, I will never let it down because it was genuinely the most like perplexed that I'd ever been during a live performance. And it was during our last performance of Godspell this past year. And I had an actress who is one of the best dancers in the area. Fantastic dancer. Great. And she's also a wonderful singer, wonderful actress, but dancing is her strong suit. And I'm just trying to be nice, because I'm about to say things that are not nice. I mean all of these things I'm saying about her, but she had one line in the last song of Act 1, Light of the World. I think it was what? You are the city of God. You are the city of God.
No, you are the salt of the earth.
You are the salt of the earth. You are the salt of the earth. And if that salt has lost its flavor, it ain't got much in its favor. That's it. That's the line. That's all she had to sing. And so halfway through Act 1,
I'm just giving you space, man, because you're gonna start swinging here and stuff.
I am. So I'm sitting off to the side. It's partial round. The actors are supposed to like interact with the audience. And halfway through Act 1, Travis is it's during charades. And so Travis decides he's going to come up to me and sit next to me, which he had done every single day that week. And this time, he had this look on his face like I had never seen. Like, this kid was anxious. And he walks up to me and he goes, hey. I'm like, and we're in the middle of a show. I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, she doesn't want to do her solo. She wants me to sing her solo. I don't know it. And there's a full audience around us. I was like, Travis, we're in the middle of the show. He's like, what do I tell her? Also, keep in mind, the actors don't leave stage this entire show.
Yeah, no.
The actors stay on stage this entire production.
We leave at intermission and then we come back on.
Yeah. So he was like, what do I tell her? I was like, we're in the middle of a show. You don't leave stage. Like, this happens before Act 1 ends. Like, you can't tell her anything. And he's like, Tim, I don't think she's gonna sing her solo. Like, what? I have to.
It's some of the dumbest shit ever.
He was
in the middle of a show, like, what do you want me to do?
He was like,
what?
I have to tell her something. And like, Travis is great at what he does, and this is in no way Travis's fault. Travis did what he felt he needed to do.
Yeah.
But I said, if you could find time to tell her to go on that stage and sing her goddamn solo, like she has been doing for the past 3 months. And she went up there and she did it. And I love her so dearly, but I will never let it go. It was one of the most perplexing choices that I've ever seen any actor in the world do. Go tell the director in the middle of a show in front of a full audience during the show that I'm not doing this solo.
Yeah, that's a weird. I wasn't gonna tell this one, but I just looked down and saw that he's watching. So I'm gonna say.
Tell it. I have it in my notes for you to tell it, please.
So, all right. So we were doing Beauty and the Beast, and
Is he still here?
there was, I don't know, there was a rule because the way we did Beauty and the Beast, it was half projection, half castle was our set. So the castle took up the back half of the stage, moved the projection screen up so it can be lowered and raised. And that was my job because I was in the show, so I was taking care of lifting the scrim up and down. So everybody was told there is a giant white fluorescent box. Do not step in this box. If you step in this box, you are in a lot of danger. Like it could get really bad. Mm-hmm. Mind you, the Maryland Theater uses the old rope sandbag system. Like it's very old. It's a historic theater. So literally, to make something come down, whether it's lighting rigs or the electrical or the scrim or anything else, it's on a sandbag system with ropes that you have to tie off. So because I'm trained in the Maryland Theater safety protocols, we have, they allowed me to do it. So anyway, everyone's told don't walk in this box, right? So right at the point where we are lifting, or we are dropping the scrim, the sandbag is coming down, and these sandbags are 150 pounds apiece, right? The sandbag's coming down, and freaking Leo comes waltzing right underneath where this sandbag is going, and it's coming down hard, because we have to get it down in a matter of like a 20-second. So it's coming down. He walks right under it and stops and stands there, doesn't move. So I see him, and I'm like, what the fuck? I have to, with one arm, hold on to this rope with a free falling, essentially, 150-pound sandbag coming down, and use my other arm to push him out of the way because I didn't know if I was going to be able to hold on to it. And I looked at Leo, and I said, Leo, you almost died. And he was like, meh. I was like, no, I'm not kidding. That was going to come down right on your neck. You would have been dead. 150 pounds of a sandbag on your neck is going to kill you.
Game over.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. He was like, seriously? I was like,
yeah.
Dude, yeah. And now I'm about to kill you because you did exactly what I told you not to do. And now my arm hurts because I had rope burn on my arm for like a month because I literally all I could do is as I was pulling it down was see him come. All I could do was just let's hook it and let's see what the hell happens. And the other tech was there, but he didn't see it happening. He had other duties backstage, which is why I was running the ropes, and I was just like, well, here goes nothing. And I could have killed him that day. So Leo, if you're still watching, I love you dearly. You're a good friend of mine, but I almost literally killed you that night twice because I almost killed you with a sandbag, and I was just going to kill you. So let's move on here, and we have about 10 minutes. I want to get into one of these other quick topics real quick. But before we do, we have some advertisements. Of course, we have some great stuff coming up live at the Maryland Theater. We have Rent one night only, November 2nd. Tickets are on sale now. Rehearsals have been underway now for a couple of weeks. Things are going well, so we're really excited about that. Make sure you get your tickets at the Maryland Theater website. And then we have Patsy Cline, a tribute to Patsy Cline at the Black Box Studio. And this is a pretty long run, the 24th, 25th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and the 8th and 9th. So the 24th and 25th of September, and then October 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 8th, and 9th. Taylor Whitten, Crazy Dreams, The Legend, The Life, and these songs of Patsy Cline. You don't want to miss it. It is a fantastic show. And Taylor will actually be here with us next week. She's our guest next week, so we're going to talk to her. She's going to do a little bit of a performance. So we're really excited to have her here. She wanted to come tonight, but she was coming back from New York City, I think, and wasn't going to make it on time. So we're really excited for her. And then we have the Haunted House. We're very excited for this. The Haunted House has been getting a lot of traction. October 28th, 29th, and 30th in downtown Hagerstown. Make sure that you get your tickets for that. It's from 6 to 10 on those 3 dates, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. We have Casino Nights on November 6th. Tickets $50. 2 tickets for $75 if you want to buy a couple's ticket or just come with a friend. Comes with a free drink ticket. We are giving away, ACT is giving away a 2-day, 1-night stay in New York City. So we're very excited to be able to do that. So make sure you get your tickets. We're going to have table games. We're going to have blackjack, slot machines. We're going to have craps. We're going to have roulette. A whole lot of fun right at the Black Box Studio, November 6th. We are still looking for a couple of table game sponsors. So if you own a business or you want to give a gift that we can raffle off that night for our winners, please contact info@actforall.org. We do have some great sponsors that are set up. We are giving away some cool prizes. And how it works, guys, is you don't get any real money. You get, I think it's $25,000. I don't remember how much. Don't quote me on anything. But you get funny money whenever you buy your ticket. You come in. You can re-up if you run out of money. Play games. You're not actually gambling with any real money. All the proceeds go towards our final push to finish the renovations at the Black Box Studio. So we're very excited for that. And then Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, October 22nd and 23rd at the Maryland Theater. Tickets are on sale now. Make sure you get your tickets to check that out. We're going to probably have Jeff back in here to do a number. Maybe Beth as well. So we might have a little bit of a full house here in the next couple of weeks to promote that show. So we're really excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. Directed by Scott Rubel, our music directed by Matthew Dom. So very talented cast. And it's fun. I have nothing to do with that show. Jerry McCartney is actually producing that show because I'm doing Rent at the same time, so I didn't want to die. Walking through the building, like if I had to come in and do something, and hearing the cast, I mean, it's strong, and there's still work to be done, obviously, but the music is very strong, and it's not a big cast. It's only about 20 couple people.
They're hard musical numbers.
Oh yeah,
like it's no joke.
Not easy at all. So somebody asked me, they were like, "Is Sweeney Todd gonna be one of those ones that you regret not doing?" I was like, "Not at all. Not even a little."
That happened.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What happened?
The fan blew my paper.
Oh, I thought you threw it across the room.
See, I didn't see the fan. I'm thinking, okay, so like the black box is haunted, but is this place?
Yeah,
The door is open.
So I will say this too, real quick, before we go on another topic. We have about 7 minutes left. Jay, we might go over a little bit, sir, if that's okay. But I will say, I know. They called me out on the morning crunch about the stuff going on with the History Hub Hunters, Hub City History Hunters with Ken Buckler, saying that we were playing pranks on them, and they didn't do anything, but we weren't playing any pranks. There's been a lot of stuff going on. I actually sat down with Ken a couple days ago, and we did an interview and kind of hashed out the anger that I had with what I suspect happened, and Christine, who's a producer here, we kind of hashed out our differences, but the black box is safe. There's nothing going on there. Everything is perfectly fine. So all that nonsense. If you know Ken Buckler, he's a satire writer. So whether he says he's writing satire or not, he usually is. Just go to the Hagerstown Report, which he runs as well. You can take a look there. So just to answer what was said on the old morning crunch there, but let's do this one last topic real quick. I'm trying to pick between which one. Tim, you pick which one we do.
Oh goodness, you want a quick one? Since we talked about stuff like American Idiot, Mamma Mia, we'll just do this last one. Do we think that jukebox musicals work as musicals?
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
I have a list here just for anyone who's not sure. Jukebox musicals are musicals that are created, and they either follow the life of the artist that they're using the music from, or they create an entirely new storyline using music. So like Rock of Ages is just different rock songs. Mamma Mia is exclusively songs by ABBA. American Idiot is all from the American Idiot Green Day album.
Yeah, I mean there's hundreds.
Jagged Little Pill is the Alanis Morissette album as a musical. I literally have.
You got your Jersey
here.
Boys. You got We Will Rock You. I mean, there's so many. They work. I mean, I think the reason why you don't see them nearly as much, and we were kind of talking about it before the show started. The reason why you don't see them is because of how expensive they are.
Yeah.
They're stupid expensive, and from the backside of things and the flip side of things, so you have a royalty company and you have a company that owns the rights to sell the show to people, and then that money they take a cut, of course. So like Music Theater International, Concord Theatricals, Tams is with them now, or Drama Publishing Company. All these companies, they take a cut and then they send a check to the people who own the rights. The right companies that negotiate selling the rights don't own anything; they're just a middleman. Right. So then they have to send a check to whoever. When you have these jukebox musicals, you don't think these artists are giving their songs away for free. They get paid. So Queen is still catching a check from Rock of Ages and We Will Rock You, and you have Motown stars that are still catching checks from these shows because they get paid for them. So the cost of the show is so astronomically high. That's why you don't see them nearly as much.
Right.
Which is a damn shame.
I mean, just some of them are just so good. Like, this one isn't a stage show, but like the movie Across the Universe and the way that they adapted those songs. Like, I listen to that album all the time probably more than I actually listen to anything by the Beatles.
Yeah.
Just because some of the
I didn't like it. It was weird.
Across the Universe?
Yeah.
But you also haven't
have
seen it
personal
the
issues.
entire way through.
That's because it was interrupted by some guy that I had to protect somebody from. Anyway, it's a long story.
Okay, but the second time?
The second time I passed out because I couldn't care less. No, the first time I watched it was actually me and my wife were on like one of our first dates. We were at her house watching it, and her ex-fiance came to the door and started pounding. And that didn't turn pretty.
I can see that.
But
Yeah, and
whatever. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. But that's. I mean, I've never seen it the whole way through. I get bored with it. I don't know. Like I've heard the music. The music's good. I don't know. I'm not really a huge Beatles fan either. I mean,
I love the Beatles.
talk about overrated. I mean, let's be real.
Oh, no. I love the Beatles.
Robbie.
Listen, I think this whole running for office thing this show's gonna bite me in the ass one day.
Yeah, well, I think so too.
They were sitting there during the interview, and on September 18, 2021, you said that the Beatles were overrated. Can you please respond?
That's when you will lose.
That's why I just lose all votes.
Yeah, between the Beatles fans and the Lin-Manuel Miranda fans, you're not going to get any fucking votes.
Or I'm gonna get people who say, "Finally, somebody had the balls to say it." John, do you think jukebox musicals do they work? Do you like them? Is it worth it?
I think they can. I think they absolutely can. If it's if there's enough of a story that you can weave together.
Yeah.
If you just throw a couple of songs together and try to bank off the songs, it's going to fall flat.
I think that's the key. Is the story has to follow.
Right.
The story has to be strong enough because again, those songs weren't meant for stage. They weren't meant for storytelling, right? So like there a lot of times there's and sometimes they'll do a new arrangement of the song like they did with Across the Universe and stuff like that for it to make sense. But a lot of times they don't in jukebox musicals. It's really just a song and maybe they add like a chorus piece behind it to kind of fill it out.
Right.
But I think that. It has to. If the script isn't written well, like for example, "We Will Rock You," the script's garbage. It's not good. It's literally just a bunch of Queen songs that they just throw in there. It doesn't make any sense.
I feel the same way about Mamma Mia, though.
Mamma Mia sucks.
When I saw Mamma Mia live for the first time, it was actually the first time I'd ever seen it. Like, period. Like, I didn't see.
Where'd you see it?
The movie Totem Pole Playhouse.
Okay.
And the production was fantastic, but I spent the entire time instead of like actually really watching the show, I spent the entire time being like, okay, there's Boulevou. You know what I mean? Oh, there's that one. Oh, I know that one. I heard that one. You know what I mean? And you're sitting there and you're kind of just like, I didn't even know I knew as many ABBA songs as I did after watching that show. And then I was like, oh, I knew pretty much all of those.
Yeah.
See, I like the second movie, the Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. That was a lot better than Mamma Mia, in my opinion. But
They all suck. They're terrible. But I'm sorry, the story's terrible. Anyway, so here's the thing. Let's just have a whole episode next week on talking shit on Mamma Mia, and I'll do a whole script analysis and show everybody why it's garbage. Mae, do you enjoy jukebox musicals?
Yeah, I think that they can work. I don't know. I feel like there's some albums that need jukebox musicals.
Like what?
Born This Way.
Yes, I agree.
Like,
I agree. But we'll talk about that another
needs
day.
it.
I have
It
it. I have it
needs
entirely like written out.
I know.
I have the entire outline.
It needs it.
So let's. So we're gonna close out because we're at that 7:30 mark, and I want to save these other topics, the other two topics, Tim. So can you make a note? I want to save those for next time. But first of all, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for chatting with us. Share it still down below so people see it. We're here every Sunday, 6 o'clock start time. We did run a little bit late. That was my fault. We ran a little bit late here today, but that's okay. But we're live every Sunday, 6 o'clock. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Remember, Ren on November 2nd, Patsy Cline starting next weekend. We'll have Taylor Whitten in-house next week, so you're going to make sure you want to tune in and see a sneak peek of Crazy Dreams. And then Casino Night is November 6th, and then Sweeney Todd October 22nd and 23rd at the Maryland Theater. Also, we have some more shows coming out that we'll start promoting really next week, but we have Legends, the Halloween edition, which is a female impersonation show hosted hosted by the one and only Araya Sparks. You've been seeing it scroll across the bottom of the screen here all night. Make sure you check that out. We also have Broadway Babes that's coming up. We have Tuna Christmas. I mean, we have so many concerts, so many shows going on, so make sure you check us out. The links are actually down in the comments. The links for the Black Box is the On the Stage links, and then, of course, the Maryland Theater link for all of your tickets for the Maryland Theater shows. So that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much, Mae, for joining us here last minute. It was awesome having you. For Jon, for Tim, for myself. Peace out, everybody. Thank you all so much.